Hello.
Hello.
YouTube is being weird. I'm not seeing the chat load, but
Oh,
I'll
I
just,
see the chat. I see the
yeah,
chat.
I don't see it on the YouTube side. I don't even see our
Oh,
stream on
oh,
the
I'm
YouTube
never
side.
on the YouTube side, so because
Are
I
we
don't have
even
my
live?
monitors. My monitors are in my office. I don't want
Oh,
to stream from my office. I want to stream from my tanks.
yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, I'm at my kitchen table. So I do have a little portable monitor I could use that like clips to my laptop monitor that's on a stand, but it's precarious. Like it could fall off and crash and take the whole operation down, and we don't want that.
No, we
So
don't want that. Okay, so we are live and we can be seen. So
we
that's good.
can.
Sweet. All right.
Hello,
Well,
all.
I have not done shit with the ponds in a week. It has been storming every freaking day, all day.
Yeah, I've seen you guys have gotten tons of rain. We've had like a normal amount of rain. We had an inch of rain on Friday. The week before that, we had like 3 inches of rain. So, but it came all at once. But things are just nice and green and lush. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I noticed, like in the break and the rain yesterday, that the water hibiscus had white flies, just a swarm of them.
Ugh.
It's weird. I don't know if they're very selective about what leaves they want to colonize on, because
They
like
are.
the pickerel that's right next to it, totally
Mhm.
fine.
Yep.
The canis fine,
Yeah.
whatever else is around there. It was just the water hibiscus. And I'm like, you know what? I just trim that shit down to the substrate because
Yep.
I don't care.
Yeah. Just do that. And then what you can do is like, if there are larvae on it from the whitefly, you can spray that with BT. Because BT, for those of you in the chat who don't know, it's
It's a
an
bacteria, right?
organic remedy. Yeah, it's Bacillus thuringiensis. It is a soil bacterium, a bacillus, and it's safe for fish, safe for pets. It only kills larvae of holometabolous insects. So that's any insect that does a complete metamorphosis. So something that has like a worm caterpillar stage. So flies, butterflies, bees, or I'm sorry, not bees. Oh, yeah.
So a lot safer
Well,
than neem oil, right? In terms of like
yeah, I
spraying it
would
on your
not. I
fish.
don't use neem oil around my pond. I don't feel comfortable with it because, it creates an oily film on your pond. There are not many things I feel safe using by a pond. BT, you can. That's what's in mosquito dunks, by the way. Yeah, so
Okay, yeah.
she said that, and I use those. You can buy BT spray, though. I think it's called Thuricide. It's BT spray. You can get it off Amazon. So that's a safe remedy to use. You don't want to fog your yard with it, though, because it will kill caterpillars of butterflies.
Hmm.
And we don't want to kill caterpillars. So I don't fog my yard with it. But I don't have a problem if I sprayed some of it on my cabbage this year because it was infected with cabbage loopers. So
Oh, you can make your own BT spray from the mosquito bits. Well, I
you
guess,
can. You
crush the
can.
dunks that I have.
Yeah, you can do that too. I just bought the spray because it's more convenient that way.
Hmm.
So
I also ordered the yellow sticky fly paper just because that gets rid of a bunch of them at once. But yeah, in terms of the larvae, I need something to deal with that. But also,
yeah,
like if I just chop down that hibiscus and they don't come back, that would also be just swell.
yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got to give up on a plant, and if it's not like a high value plant, like my lotuses.
Now I've got so many different ones growing, and I'm trying to figure out which ones I like, which ones are going to stay,
Yeah.
and ones that are going to be that susceptible to pest
Well,
without
and it's
me.
not necessarily that they're susceptible either. It might just be that they got unlucky. But
Could
like
be.
lotuses are, at least in my area, in my yard, are very susceptible to aphids.
Yeah. So speaking of lotus, am I supposed to be seeing anything happen at all with those lotuses yet?
I mean, mine are real slow to wake up this year because it's been cold here, which is not an issue for you. If the growth tips are firm,
They are. I did.
probably. I
I've
have
seen
one.
one growth tip come out and curl a little
Oh,
bit,
then
and
it'll
that
get there. It'll get there.
it's just
Yeah.
slow. I was expecting
Yeah.
lily type.
Yeah. You know, they're real slow to wake up, and then they're slow with the coin leaves. And then they send up the immersed leaf, the aerial leaf,
And that's
and
when
they
you fertilize,
fertilize
right?
them, and then like,
Yeah.
bam, they are just going.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have one I'm waiting on too, and every day I look at it, I'm like, well, it's not dead because like I've seen the growth tip like extend a little bit, and it's not mushy. If it's mushy, it's dead. So yeah, Nancy
Yeah.
B says hers is either sleeping or dead either. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I've
I
got
did
one that's
divide
doing
them.
nothing.
I divided them kind of late this year. I'm hoping that didn't affect things, but it was just so cold here that I didn't want to stick my arms in the pond when it was only 45 degrees out. You
Yeah.
know, just so yeah, hopefully. If not, I'll send some next year. So because all
Yeah.
of mine but one are going, but they're all slow this year. They're all slow because I mean, we have warm weather now, but it's been a cold spring. Everything is a little slow. So yeah,
So,
Dee Dee says I wasn't willing to take one for the team and go frozen. I wasn't, Dee Dee. I wasn't.
no, that is uncomfortable. Couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
I really hate being cold. So yeah.
So yeah, at least one of
Jody says it's
mine
not
is not
dead.
dead. That's
Yay!
good.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome.
And
So
also the other one that I have that's not doing anything, it's also in the dimmest of light. So maybe it's just
yeah, I mean,
not enough light over there.
I don't have experience growing lotuses in a dim pond. My pond is very well lit. But I did give some lotus to my friend Michael a few years ago. And that probably got about, I want to say like 5 hours of sunlight. And it did bloom for him. So in his koi pond. So, I think that they can take a little bit of shade. Like they don't need blasting sun. And in fact, where you live, it's probably good to have a little bit of shade because your sun is it's so hot where you live that it
Impressive.
just gives plants a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
But I mean, they grow in Thailand and it could not be hotter there. So, but again, I don't know how they grow them there. If like they blast them with sun all day or if they maybe give them a little bit of shade during the day. I don't know. So, but like all the
Well,
big
we'll see.
lotus hybridizers and a lot of the water lily hybridizers, it must be a very big hobby there. They're all in Thailand. It's very popular there. So,
Well, meanwhile, with all the rain and not doing much with the ponds, I mean, did check on the paradise fish today. They're doing quite well. Nice and
nice. Those are
colorful and
pretty
big.
fish. Nice.
And then
Yeah.
I planned to tank quick auctions last night. Won a Barclaya
Nice. Oh, I looked for
from
that for
Joe
years.
Harvey.
Nice.
So I've got that coming, and then since
Nice.
I'm ordering, already paying shipping, I added on top of that. I didn't buy a single stem plant. Be proud of me. I don't have room for that right now, at least.
Yeah.
But so I got the Ponageton Crispus Red
Oh,
variety
pretty.
to replace my
Pretty.
regular green one because it's just growing
Hopefully
huge. I
that'll
might as
do
well.
okay in the heat.
Yeah. I'm
Sensitive to
hopefully.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Your house is
hopefully
probably
these
not
come
quite as
back.
hot as mine. I mean, my house is pretty. Cause my air
Oh,
conditioning-
inside, I'm not worried at all. We blast
Yeah.
AC during the summer. We don't
Yeah.
tolerate
Yeah, my house
the
is
heat.
pretty warm right now. Cause it's, I don't know, it's like 80 degrees outside right now. But it's probably like 78 degrees inside. So it's pretty warm.
And what else did I add? Oh, a proper Blixa albertii
Oh,
red
those are
variety.
so pretty.
The
So
color
pretty.
on the one that he showed in a picture is just insane. Like
I know, and mine
super
was
tall
beautiful
yeah.
too. And it was beautiful under those Chihiros lights. And I'm sorry that I lost it because it was really, really amazing.
Did it get shaded out or did it get CO2 starved?
No, it was when I didn't have CO2 on the tank for 2 weeks. And it just, I mean, maybe it grows without CO2, but it does not grow when it's like used to CO2, and then no CO2. It doesn't like that.
Right.
So I don't have CO2 right now because my CO2 ran out. I need to get more. So yeah, hopefully this Blixen doesn't by this weekend. We'll see.
Well, I can try to send you some if
Well,
you lose it.
it'll
But,
come back. I mean, usually
yeah,
it just gets melty and gross, but then it'll come
right.
back. So yeah, but that clump looks so good right now. I don't want to lose it, but
Yeah.
you know, I can't do anything about it till this weekend. So
And then as far as other indoor projects, I took off one of the lights from the live bearer mosh pit, and I just built this grow bed, just kind of cobbled some crap together. It's not super elegant. It can be replaced later, but I just wanted to start growing more stuff out of the back of the tank.
I love that. That looks awesome. And yes, I think growing stuff out of your tanks is super fun. I grow stuff out of my tanks using what are they called? The apothecary baskets. And then of course I
Yeah,
have my hydroponic wall, which I showed Stephen
right.
today. It's just
Huge. Yeah. Here we get a
I
bear.
mean, it's huge because that's a 40 breeder, and like it's silly. It's so big, and that's because I added those two little cheapy grow lights, and yeah, they really get the job done.
Yeah. So I have the apothecaries in the back there. I was using these baskets here that are sitting on top of the HOV, and the hook never really quite reached the back of it. They just weren't that great. So I wanted to grow more stuff anyway. So
Yeah.
got the PVC pipe. And then after I got home and I put all the aquasoil, and this is also like windows, the fiberglass window screen, because like the basket part of it. And then I filled it up with aquasoil, and then these pipes like bowed in
How
half
deep is
nearly.
it? How deep?
I don't know, like 3 inches at
Oh
most.
yeah,
It's
that's
not very
good.
deep.
Yeah, but that's
And
good.
yeah, so I got some wooden dowels to keep that rigid and
Yeah,
not going.
because you don't want it
So
to move.
yeah, and so
Cool.
then I planted some stuff in there. So just the Chinese evergreen, some kind of pink red variety, and this is just a Monstera something or other. I have to check my log again to which one I bought. Another Monstera, and a couple of philodendrons that I've had for a while. I had some more stuff or rotate stuff out. Just I would like to get some kind of ground cover here, filling in where these are planted. I was
Yeah.
thinking like a Fittonia of some sort around
Yeah,
there,
the
but
Fittonia will get bigger than you think. It will get probably like,
height wise,
yeah, it'll get taller than you think. Especially if it's stressed for light, it'll reach for the light. It
well,
doesn't
yeah.
stay
So the
short.
light issue,
It gets probably like a foot tall, and it will send up flower stalks. So it doesn't stay teeny tiny.
okay, I'll look for something. But light wise, yeah, I need to add some more light
You could
to
just put
up
Monte
these.
Carlo on it.
I I do have some already immersed Monte Carlo. That's not a
Just put
bad
Monte
idea.
Carlo on it. That'll stay small. So
That'd be pretty
yeah,
cool.
I would just do that. It'll grow well.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then I got these lights coming. They're supposed to come today,
Yeah.
but
And
Amazon.
that's similar what I use too. They're cheap. I recommend this kind of light. They have a built-in timer.
Mhm.
Like I use them on terrariums. I have some clipped to the top of this tank. That's what I'm using here. And yeah, they're cheap lights that work. All right. Oinky asks, are horsetail cuttings a decent investment option for a pond or bog? I'm located in zone 5. So horsetail is equisetum. It is a native plant. I don't know that I would pay money for equisetum because it's growing in every ditch in America.
I think Ted sent me some of that.
Yeah, I would just go dig some from your nearest ditch. There's a variegated equisetum that's quite pretty. It's a good pond plant, I guess. I think it looks cool. I think the variegated one looks cooler. I would do that one. I have grown it. Do not plant it in your yard, especially if you have any swampy places, because it can be a really noxious weed in your yard, and it's very hard to get rid of, and it's really invasive in your flower bed. So don't do that. But like it's a native plant, so sure. I just wouldn't pay money for the regular one because it's everywhere. It's in every ditch.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Steve says he got flowers on his Fittonia. It wasn't my favorite. Yeah, they don't really have pretty blooms. Like, I would cut them off. That will also like send more energy to the leaves. But yeah, I wouldn't. They don't have pretty flowers. The people don't grow them for their flowers.
Yeah, I like the way the leaves look. I don't care about any flowers indoors, honestly. I just wanted my goal is to fill up that that lattice and just
there are flowers I like indoors. Yeah, I mean there are flowers I like indoors, but they're more foliage that I like more. So Fittonia though, and the thing is you want to keep them pinched so they don't get leggy. They'll be bushier and nicer that way. So.
Geek found the lights that I was showing and posted a link. Good job.
Nice. Yeah, and there's lots of variations on that in Amazon. There's singles, there's doubles, they're all the same. They're very cheap. They work.
Yeah. Don't need anything too intense.
You really don't. You really don't. I mean, especially since you have a little bit of sunlight there.
Yeah, it's a southern facing window.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a dirty window, so maybe if I clean the window, I get a little bit more sun.
Yeah, honestly, you might be able to get away without it. This is east facing my window. But like my neighbor's garage is right there too. So it's really dark over in this corner. So it really doesn't get a whole lot of light. So I have to use supplemental light. But you probably could get away with not. So,
we shall see.
Yeah.
Looking in chat. Any questions? Because I've done so little.
I mean, I'm trying to think if I haven't done really anything in here other than water changes. I have fish coming this week. I have Melanitania trifasciata Hapgood River from Dan's, which I've waited for years for those to come into stock. And when they came into stock, I didn't even think about it. I bought 8 of them and then they were immediately sold out. They might have some of them now, but like they went quick. So I have done a lot outside. I don't know. I made a content. We could watch it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I made a content today.
I got the notification for that. And so Oinky is asking, may I humbly ask the Fishfam for assistance? Does anyone have any extra copies of Dr. Ted's book in the 1st and 2nd edition I could purchase? She's planning to make wearable wings with the book pages. That's pretty cool.
I don't, because I do have one of the earlier copies, but it's on I got the Kindle one for the earlier one. So I like this idea.
All right.
I don't know. Hopefully someone will chime in. Ted was making chicken cacciatore and not sharing with the class. What a dick.
Here we go. Good morning from the Pond Empire. Is that the one?
Right. That's the one. I think I took it at like 10:30 or so.
I wish
you'll see what I did to the bog box. What?
I wish they had dates on these shorts, because I like looking through these. I don't know when last season ended.
The one where you can see the one where the lotus looks huge. So that'd be in the top row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 5th one, the lotus is huge there. That's clearly an older one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my YouTube is okay. There we go. I was like,
here we go.
Being very weird.
So I planted some more stuff in the bog box. It's my water lily from Ted that's blooming. That's Sue, which it's beautiful. I love it.
What is this? Is this fuchsia or something? Is that what this is called?
No, so that is a different kind of Lysimachia that my garden center sells. They call it creeping Jenny, but it's not. It's Lysomachia, not Numularia or whatever. That's the regular creeping Jenny. It is, I forget the name all the time. One moment. It is Lysomachia congestiflora. I've grown it before. It grows great. All Lysomachias do well in ponds.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what the Samolus has been renamed to, is a Lysomachia. The Samolus red.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and they're like all marginal plants, all very wet feet type plants.
Kelley gave me some Zen today.
I did. It was his moment of Zen.
Nice.
Yeah, it's doing good. And so upon Dee Dee's recommendation, that purple flower that's in the bog, that is Kufia procumbens. So, which is not the same species of Kufia Dee Dee planted. But they didn't have that one. That was the one that's known as Mexican heather, and that's kind of a creepy crawly plant. But this one is a more upright plant, and it seems to be doing pretty well. I have great hopes for it. I did a Kufia last year. I did the one that's called something firecracker plant or cigar plant. I think it's Kufia ignea. And that one did really badly. But they sell it, other cultivars of Kufia ignea in pond stores. So I don't know why it didn't work for me. But
is this a lobelia over here or what?
That is aquatic mint. Aquatic.
Oh, it's just
mint. I have grown lobelia.
Yours is way darker than mine.
Yeah, it is. Maybe it's not the same. You know, there's a lot of like hybridization in mints. Who knows what it is? It does smell minty. And in my experience, all mints grow in ponds, no problem. I've grown like chocolate mint. And
like all the mentha genus?
Yeah, all the menthas. They do just fine. Can't kill them. So my green stalks are doing good. Look at that massive cabbage up there.
Yeah.
It's still not quite ready yet, but it's huge. So yeah, my green stalks are doing really good. I have harvested lots of lettuce, lots of baby bok choy, and what else? A very meager like 4 sprigs of broccoli. That was kind of disappointing. I have peas that are almost ready. I've picked lots of herbs. And 4 strawberries. So, I mean, the green stalks they're fun. As you see, I don't have a lot of space. What you see is pretty much what you get for the space I have. So
that's pretty good. Efficient use of the space, though.
I try to do the best I can with what I have. I just don't have much. It's very different from Jody P, who has acres and acres and acres of land. So, Dee Dee, no, that's not a dahlia in the bog. That's the Kufia. That's that Kufia procumbens that you can just get from garden centers. It's just an annual. Do not plant a dahlia in a bog. They would hate it. They are Mexican desert, well, not desert, but like Mexican highland plants, like up in the mountains. They kind of like it dry and the tubers will rot. So I don't recommend, you can try it, but don't use a dahlia you care about. But I really think they would rot. They don't like to be wet.
Foxy wanted to know if you line your galvanized tubs with anything.
Yes, I use Flex Seal. I use the spray kind, which Dee Dee has also used. It works good for me. I have heard that sometimes people don't line them with anything. I don't think I trust that, but then they're like, "Oh, my goldfish are 8 years old and they spawn." So
I don't know, bare metal touching water for years upon years is usually a scary combination.
Yeah, I don't. So I use Flex Seal. Nancy B also uses Flex Seal, and it works. It takes a couple of cans because you do 2 coats, and I do mine black. Nancy B does hers like light gray. So it's just what you want to do. But I like to do mine in black. If you live in a hotter place, maybe do a lighter color.
Mm-hmm. So Jennifer Linkus had an oops breeding with the bristlenose plecos. Yeah, they will oops breed until you separate the males and the females. And they don't even need a cave. It turns out they just do what they do. But if you don't feed the crap out of the babies, then you end up losing them. So you don't necessarily
stop feeding.
Yeah, just don't feed. God, that was.
I
I think I
remember when you were
probably.
just overrun by those.
Well, I mean, it was intentional. I was putting
Yeah.
skewers of blanched vegetables and rapashi in there every single day, doing 3 to 4 water changes a day. Like that was an intentional breeding project, and
Oh my
it
God.
kind
Yeah,
of
I
taught
remember
me
you
of
made a
like I
video
don't
on
really.
it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
made a
kind of
video.
taught me that I don't really have a lot of fun doing that. It was fun at the time. Wasn't interested in repeating it for
It's
quite a
good to
while.
try new things. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, because I saw that video, I don't want to do that.
that's a good
So,
cautionary tale, I guess.
yeah. So we learned something. So I think what you're asking about, June, is it's a container. It's not in the pond. That is a sweet potato vine. I can't remember which cultivar there is of it, but it's just one you get from garden centers in the annual section. There's lots of different sweet potato vines. They're just getting going because they like heat. So
So is
once
it
they get
this?
some, yeah, that's the sweet potato vine. I have it in a couple of places. It's just kind of a nice foliage plant. It actually has some pretty purple flowers, but you can't really see them easily. So, yeah.
I see.
It's a sweet potato vine. I think you could grow that in a pond, though. I've grown other sweet potatoes and they don't mind wet feet. So it's one you could try. They like heat,
It's
and they're
not.
water hogs. So it's
It's
a thing
not
you
very well shown in this picture, but you can see I actually got one
you have a
too.
sweet potato vine. They like a
Yeah.
lot of light, so it might get a little
Yeah,
wetty.
by the window and maybe
They can get away with a little less though, because sometimes I use them in shade containers, which kind of like tamps them down a little bit. So that's nice.
there's a Haiger
So
light that's
they're
on a
very
ledge that's
vigorous.
about, I don't know, 7 feet off the ground, up top, and so I'm gonna probably
Yeah.
clip those other lights to the lattice or something and just
Yeah.
kind of have
I
them.
mean, I've grown them in some pretty shady containers, and honestly, all it does is kind of slow them down, which is kind of good because you don't need like, a 4 foot by 3 foot mass of plants.
Mhm.
You just don't need that. That's too much for you. So Geek Boy says, I used many of Stephen's videos as cautionary tales of what not to do. I mean, we all learn from each other that way.
Glad to be educating in
That's
some way.
right. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Hmm.
Wow. Geek Boy, supposedly so does Jenna. Oh, that's harsh. That hurts. That hurts.
Damn you, Ted. I deserve that.
I don't know. Scuba Stevo. So do y'all eat those foods coming out of your tank and ponds? And if you do you add anything to the water, such as prime? So the sweet potato vine I'm talking about is an ornamental. I don't think it produces tubers. You definitely wouldn't want to eat the foliage. I think it's toxic.
So if you are growing
Yeah.
something that's edible, would you eat it, and would what you have in the water make a difference?
I mean, I've done it before. I have eaten Limnophila aromatica before, whether it was smart or not. I've done
I
it
mean, I've
just to
had tank
see.
water in my mouth before, but
Yeah, I mean,
not.
you want to wash it really well because of parasites and bacteria, but you should be washing all of your produce really well because of parasites and bacteria. You know, the most common foodborne illness that you're going to get is not from like undercooked chicken, it's from
Listeria
spinach, lettuce,
and
and
spinach, yeah.
yeah, it's from sprouts. In fact, the CDC calls them sprout breaks. So,
Mm.
Oinky asked me if I've ever grown any varieties of basil in my tanks. I haven't, but they kind of like it a little drier, so I've never tried because I don't think they'd be happy. Mint works because you can't kill a mint. You can't kill it. And that's why it's kind of nice to grow it in the pond because it's contained away from the rest of your yard. So I grow mints in my green stock, but I would not plant a mint in the ground.
God, with all the rain, it's possible that mint could spread into the yard. The way our yard is, just the way the neighborhood is, when it rains, most of our yards in the back kind of fill up a little bit, like it's a little
Yeah,
mini bog going on
live
there.
in the
And
swamp.
yeah, but then it might not rain for a month. So I'm not complaining about the rain. It's just been a hindrance to anything that I want
Yeah.
to do.
And I
outside.
mean, it's supposed to rain where you live. This is normal. This is what it's supposed to do. I mean, you know, you live in the swamp, it's supposed to rain.
Yep. It's nice and swampy.
Nancy Bees is just saying no to leafy greens. Oh,
Just say no to kale. Just say no to mustard greens and collard greens. I know I'm
I don't
Southern.
mind mustard greens or
Never liked
collard
them.
greens. I don't like kale. I like beet greens. I don't like beets, but I do like beet greens. I'm okay with greens. I eat spinach. I eat a lot of baby bok choy, and I grew some this year, and it was really good baby bok choy. Like sometimes, like when you get it from the grocery store, it can be kind of bitter. This wasn't. It was really sweet and pleasant and mild, and we ate a lot of it. So
This is an excellent question.
more vegetables in his diet.
What greens should Scotty grow out of his tanks and ponds to get more vegetables in his diet? Or really,
Yeah, I mean, people grow things hydroponically. You can grow hydroponic lettuces, spinach. I mean, whatever it takes to get that man to eat a goddamn vegetable. Just
so
whatever it takes.
what kind of hydroponic lettuce are we talking about? Like, I don't even
No,
know
like
how the lettuce I eat grows.
like the kind you put salad dressing on, which maybe
Yeah,
people put salad
iceberg,
dressing on their
romaine,
marijuana.
leaf.
I don't know.
What is it? What is it?
Any lettuce I think would be fine.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, people have setups for them that have. You can get those towers for hydroponic vegetables, and I've thought about like putting one in the corner here between the two tanks and plumbing my tank into it. But I'm always afraid, like if it failed, like if this failed, the water doesn't go anywhere; it just stays in the cups. And like the water is squirting over the top, and if it misses a little it kind of falls onto the tank, but
Yeah.
I'm afraid like I could maybe flood my floor.
I mean, if you have a pump exiting your tank going into something else that's
With the
slightly
return, I know
unpredictable.
it's a little dangerous, but like Jake and I have talked about it because he really likes the hydroponic wall. We have talked about putting a tower between the tanks, and it would be pretty cool.
So
You know,
I was
it's a thing to
I was
think about.
looking at since you installed that automatic drip irrigation system.
So worth it. So worth
I
it.
was looking at some myself, just like I didn't know which one you got, and I was going to ask you for a link, but I stumbled upon one that doesn't hook to your faucet, but instead draws water out of a reservoir. So I guess you would just like be filling a bucket, and it has, I think, like some kind of ceramic stone on the end of it to, I guess, to filter the water as it comes through. So I'm thinking like, man, how much water would it take if I put it in like a tank?
It's
And
a
just
lot.
had a couple of potted plants indoors, not
The
outdoors.
thing is like, I don't know why you would do that when you could just hook it up to your faucet. I mean,
Because it's pre-fertilized water, and if it wasn't a lot, then it wouldn't be a big
it's
deal. Like as much as I
you
do
think
water
it's
changes
fertilized.
anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you could put fertilizer in it. Like the fertilizer from your pond is not enough for the
Okay.
annuals. Like they are such heavy feeders.
Yeah, I'm talking about a tank. I'm talking about indoors, not the
Yeah.
amount of water that a plant outdoors would require.
Oh, for indoors.
Yeah, so potted house plants indoors with something drawing water from one of the tanks.
Yeah, I mean, you could try it. Yeah, you could try it. My advice for any system is to buy Rainbird tubing because you can use the tubing with any kind of fittings you want. 1/4 inch tubing is 1/4 inch tubing, but the Rainbird tubing is much nicer to work with than other brands because it's more pliable and just nicer to work with. So, but like you can mix and match the fittings. It's not that big of a deal. Mine just hooks up to a timer on the faucet for outside. For inside, I don't have that many houseplants. So there are other systems that you can use. I think it was Jeremy who sent the link to me. I can't remember what they're called, but like they're a little terracotta spike that that's hooks into a reservoir of water.
I've seen that before too.
Yeah, those would work, and they're that way you don't have to think about watering.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the wicking system, like maybe inside a wick system would be all you really need,
Yeah.
like Geek was saying. Oh, Zen's here. She was trying to figure out how to draw a fish on a computer, and that's why she missed half the stream. Well,
Okay.
that's a good reason.
It is. I mean, you were doing your homework.
Mm-hmm.
So Jody P asked me that she notices the coin leaves on the lotus are already suffering from chlorosis. It doesn't have aerial leaves yet. Should I fertilize now or wait? I would still wait. I think this is common. I've seen it happen a lot. And that's why, and chlorosis seems to be a thing that happens to lotuses a lot. And so now, as a practice, I am just fertilizing them along with root tabs with EDDHA chelated iron. And I'm just taking about, for small lotuses, about half a teaspoon. For bigger lotuses, maybe a tablespoon or half a tablespoon. And then I'm making a little paper packet of it, because you don't want to just dump it in your pond, because it'll make your pond look like blood. Like, it's not really.
Yeah.
And also, like, don't wear nice clothes when you do it, because it'll stain them.
I do that with every article of clothing I ever own. Is I get distracted, start doing something, tinkering around.
You're like, oh shit.
Prime,
Yeah, this stains
hydrogen
really
peroxide.
badly. Yeah, this stains really badly. But the EDDHA chelated iron, which, by the way, Jody, if you need to buy that, it's on sale at Garden Answer, 25% off this week. That's a good deal because it's expensive. And I know you need it because you have really high pH water. So I am at first fertilization. So I'll add my root tabs, and then I'll add the little paper packet of EDDHA iron, because, like, they just get chlorotic. And I've read that happens to other people growing lotuses too, even if you don't have super high pH water, which I don't, or high pH water, which I don't. I have kind of average water, but they're just iron hogs. So yeah.
Well, good to know.
Yeah. Anyways, the iron chelate works.
So arugula, did we answer that one? Oinky asking about.
Yeah. Arugula. So that's a good thing that Scotty could also grow hydroponically. I think I've never tried to grow it in a pond, but I think it would do okay. Watercress is something you could definitely grow in a pond, and I think watercress is delicious. I've never grown it.
Lettuce is trash. I agree with that. Except the blue cheese lettuce wedge.
I mean, that is a classic. It is a classic, and I love blue cheese dressing, so it's a vector for that.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, that's not my.
Yeah, you know what I like is the butter leaf lettuces. I'm growing those, and they are, in my opinion, the best lettuces. I like those a lot. So,
what would you keep in a 40 breeder with panda cories and 2 male-female Gardner Achilles?
Okay. Maybe you could get more Gardner Achilles. I don't know. Do they like to be in groups? I'm not really an expert on those.
Yeah, and I don't know if the goal is to breed them. Then
yeah, I don't know either. I have a Achilles, but I wouldn't say I'm a Achilles expert. My advice is always just to get rainbows. Like, why not get a bunch of these lovely Kamaka rainbows? You can get them from Foxanne, and they're beautiful.
They're definitely very
They're
lovely.
pretty awesome. That's what you should get. But I don't know. Maybe you should get more Gardner Achilles. I don't know. I'm not Achilles expert. But maybe someone in the chat will give you some good tips.
Water spikes work well, Jeffrey says, but they make glass blown ones. But if they're outside in the heat, they break from the smallest tap. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want that.
Yeah, you can use those with a wine bottle. But yeah, again, you don't want that wine bottle to break. I experimented this year with something they're called Ollas, OLLAS. They're an ancient technology. They've been used for thousands of years. They're a terracotta vessel that you bury underneath, and you can water it. And they do work pretty well, but nothing beats drip irrigation, man. It's the best. Plus, now my ponds have auto top off because I put drip in them. It's so great. Like, we have had a fair amount of rain here, but I don't irrigate when it rains. But I have not had to top off the ponds at all because of auto top off. It's so great. So,
yeah.
all right.
$15 for 15 greenhouse PCA elephant ear taro plant bulbs, a decent price.
That
So
is a
$1 a bulb.
lot of those. Do you need 15 of them? That's a crazy number. They get enormous. I mean, I would say yes, it's a good price. It depends what variety they are. They come in lots of varieties. Some are more expensive than others. Some are more desirable than others because they're kind of collector-y. But some get super tall. Some say it's really teeny tiny. So it really depends what size they get and what you want. And like, if they're not labeled what size they get and what variety, I wouldn't buy them because you don't know what you're getting.
I've got that taro mojito plant. I think it's getting too much sun.
Kind of an average size one. That one doesn't get like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, I think it's like the leaves maybe that big.
Yeah.
And
but like
I can only get it to
petioles.
I can only get it to have 4 leaves at a time before another one's just getting like withering away. So
well, maybe
I think
it's not getting enough light.
No, I think it's getting too much light. I think that one's more of
Some of them like a little more shade. It just depends. They're all different. Like the coffee cups, I love it in full sun. And it just performs so well. This year I'm growing Pharaoh's mask. I'm hoping it does well. It's supposed to be okay with full sun. And I've seen people online who get it growing like to its full glory, but I've never seen it in a pond. But they cultivate these hydroponically. So, I mean, they're all fine with wet feed. They grow them with wet feed.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll do well. I mean, it is growing. It's putting out new leaves. I also have my Alocasia zebrina outside that I bought at the Clash.
Mm-hmm.
It had a rough start because it's native to the Philippines. And it was so unhappy in all those like 40-degree nights. So unhappy. But it's now putting out new leaves. So it didn't die. But it was looking really bad.
So I guess you lost all of the foliage from
Oh,
inside,
not of right. Of what?
Of the of that Alocasia, the zebrina.
There's like one leaf left and one like dying leaf, but it is putting up new leaves, so it'll be fine. It'll get there. I mean, with a little bit of heat, which it is warm now. I mean, we're having weather in like the low 80s this week. We don't have cold nights now. So it'll be just fine. And that one is supposed to not like full sun, and it's in a shady spot. So
Green Machine wants to know, do you think I can grow Blixa japonica more red by limiting nitrogen? I have decreased nitrogen during 6 weeks now. It does look slightly more reddish and more striped, but it does not get deep red. I don't think the japonica is supposed to get deep red.
It gets pink.
And that's light controlled, right?
Yeah, it gets pink. And I wouldn't stir it for nitrogen. It needs nitrogen to grow. It needs light. It just needs enough light. CO2 helps because all plants are happier with CO2, but it really needs light to get pink tips.
It's definitely
it's never going to get red. There are varieties of Blixa, like even short ones that look like that will get red, but this one just gets pink. It's very pretty, but it doesn't get red.
I might have a photo of that other Blixa Nova something, and now this is not a super highlight tank, but it's just that Blixa. It has not grown much, but it's starting to get kind of bronzy, I guess. And you can even see how light limited this tank is by the Blixa japonica that's in it. So this is that Nova whatever that I
Guineensis. Yeah, that one I think is supposed to get pretty red.
And this is japonica, and it doesn't have any pink.
Yeah, and I mean, my CO2 ran out, so it's a little unhappy, but you can see how it's kind of blushy pink on the tips.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it does.
Because you definitely have way more light in there than I have.
It's getting blasted by a Chihiro's light, so yeah, it's a lot of light. But yeah, it's not going to get red. So, and I wouldn't stir it for nitrogen. It needs nitrogen to be happy. Otherwise, it gets brittle. Foxanne says I should get Blythe River rainbows. I have thought of it, but I don't really like red. So that's kind of not my jam. And under Chihiro's lights, it looks weird and magenta. So kind of not into that. Yeah, I got Have Good Rivers though, Foxanne. I'm very, very excited. And I have Collin Rivers, and they're very pretty. They're green. They're green. They're very pretty.
Yeah. So there are different varieties of Blixa japonica apparently, and some do get more red than others. And there's maybe there's a misidentified like the one I just showed is, I don't know if it's actually the real deal, but it's supposed to get more red. And I have seen those pictures online of some of them that are just, they look like Rotala blood red. They're that red.
And I've never seen the regular Blixa, and I've bought it from lots of people. I've owned it lots of times, and they've had pictures of it in their tanks, and it just gets pink. So, but there are other Blixa varieties. Yeah, there's the Novi Guineensis. I can't remember the variety. I bought it once and it died immediately.
Yeah, I think
that one needs a lot of light.
The water column nutrients don't make as much difference, but it will do really well with a nice nutrient dense substrate. So
yeah, and I think that like if you really want to jumpstart your Blixa, like it will grow without CO2, but it just loves it. It loves it.
Yeah, it grows. It stays green. I mean, color. You get a lot of color from CO2 injection just because CO2 makes photosynthesis a lot more efficient for the plant. So
yeah,
takes in a lot more, uses a lot more light.
Super happy with CO2 and a good amount of light. And if you don't have it in light, it can die. Because like if I try to put it in this tank, it just doesn't get enough light. Even with Chihiro's lights, it's too deep. It doesn't get enough. It doesn't do well. So it likes a lot of light. And to get it pink, it needs a lot of light.
Oh yeah, it does. Dr. Ted sent me the rare dwarf horsetail.
Well, that's exciting.
It's very dwarf right now. I divided
because it can get pretty big. I mean, the stuff from the ditches, it can get like pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, note to self: wear all red clothing when we go out to dinner with Kelley at the Clash, and alert all dinner guests to follow suit.
I don't mind if other people wear red. I mean, my mom's favorite color is red, and I always buy her red things. I always knit her red things. I just like
and
cooler
then
colors.
Go to a restaurant where they're using Chihiro's lights for the lighting, like very upscale.
That would be very, very disconcerting. Your food would look so weird.
It does have CO2 and highlight. Yeah, I would consider looking around for a variety of Blixa that is labeled as like a red cultivar.
Yeah. And there are those. I have gotten them before, and they were very red, and I killed them promptly. I think probably because I tried to grow in this tank, and this tank is it's too deep.
Don't know what the market's like where you are in Sweden. Hopefully, because like if I wanted a red Blixa like every other day on Planet Tank quick auctions, especially in the spring. Tons and tons of that stuff coming up.
Well, you have access to lots of tropical plants there. And you're part of the EU, so like you can get something from anywhere in Europe. So
horsetail is the devil.
Yeah, in your flower beds for sure. It's a noxious weed.
Tropica is 3 hours away. We'll get driving.
Just go there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Wow. That is easy. That is easy. Foxhand says Ed was saying something about bringing his computer to try to live stream the wedding because Geek has the filming to worry about, but nothing is settled. If we're leaving technology to Ed, I love Ed, but I don't know.
I think Ed can pull that off. I think
it's true. Ed is a pro at live streaming. It's true.
And he used to run like at Aquashella. He was one of the people who would run the stream. So I think technology wise, Ed definitely knows what he's doing there.
Ed, I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm sorry.
Well, also extra pressure, Ed. Don't let me down. Do it
Don't
right.
fuck up, Ed. Foxanne says she's attempting to grow black-eyed Susan vines this year. They finally sprouted. Let's see what they grow into. Oh my God. They are so incredibly vigorous. So I grew those 3 or 4 years ago in a container with a bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, well, I'll get 2 of them and I'll put them in there. Idea. 1 is plenty. They are very, very vigorous once it gets warm and they get going. So I have these like little trellises in front of my pond, and they completely covered the trellis, and they started growing down the trellis. They like smothered out everything that was in the pot. They're very, very vigorous. They're beautiful though. You can grow them from seed. They're fun to grow. Oh God, you planted 100 seeds of them. Thin them down to 1. And I mean, if you did plant them outside, it's okay, because like if you plant them in the ground, your winter will kill them. But like if you live where Stephen does, don't plant them in the ground because they are invasive and nothing will stop them. The Wisconsin winter will stop many things though. So that's not an issue.
Well, the trees have stopped my grass from growing.
I don't know if it would stop black-eyed Susan vine. Yeah.
Let's see. Scotty, get back to work. What are you doing, Scotty?
Yeah, get back to work, Scotty. Scotty had a job interview for another job today. Man, I don't even want to have 1 job. I don't want to have 2 jobs.
What if that was private information?
I mean, he announced it on his stream.
Well, then
how private could it be? I mean,
just don't let the other job know.
Hopefully his other job is not a fan of wet your plants.
Fire, chemicals, black plastic in August, and a dozen other things. We finally rented a bobcat. R.I.P. horsetail.
Oh God. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I've heard from other people that it's very vigorous. I mean, it is a native plant, but even among native plants, some of them are just too much. Too much.
Oh, there you go. Scotty says, I will be telling them it is their fault. I have to get another job. So I don't want to have 3 jobs or 2 jobs, but
I don't want to have 1 job, man.
Quarter of a job just to give me some
you
purpose.
know what? A quarter of a job. That sounds about right. I could work 1 day a week, maybe. I could do that. Maybe a couple afternoons a week.
Then that day comes around and it's like even worse because it's like, I've had so much fun all week. This day sucks.
But then you get it over with fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jody says green socks are in the garage. Looks like hail is coming. Oh my goodness. Iowa weather. It's the worst weather on earth. Crossing my fingers for you, Jody, that your beautiful yard does not take too much damage. Hopefully your vehicles are parked in the garage. Hopefully your windows and your roof will be okay. Ugh. But you guys do need the rain, so I hope you guys get a lot of rain. Jenna is very right. You should listen to Jenna, because instead of getting a second job, you should always just put that energy into getting a better first job, because there's always someone who will pay you more than you're currently being paid. Oh, there's always someone. It's better to get Des and Scotty interviewed for that exotic dancer job.
There you
go. Could maybe pay as well.
So looking at Blixa japonica and 2-hour Aquarius, and like this is it's pink. That's like pink plus Chihiro's magic, probably making it look as red
and
as
mine would get even pinker than it does, but it's kind of shaded by the Java ferns. So
also this is 200 micromoles of par.
And I probably don't have that much because I'm afraid to turn my Chihiros up all the way, because
it's a lot. You would have to be very diligent and be doing way more water changes even now.
I'm not that diligent,
Uh,
turns out. So
no, I am. Yeah, I like.
Matt says I'm not sure we do need the rain, and the dogs say it better come and go quick because they want to walk. Well, I mean, I
Oh,
guess Matt's dogs should have the final say. Jody says it's dry where she lives, though. She needs rain. So maybe, Matt, you could send all of your rain to Jody because she needs it. Her flowers are dry.
you ever had yours flower?
I haven't.
Oh, they only
Huh.
open when they're above the water. But
Oh, yeah. And,
I've never.
my tank is, I mean, how would it, I've never seen it send up a flower stalk. And I have lids too, so it could never really, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't notice it. Sarah said that they had a guy from the university or from Iowa State and a prairie restoration person, and they told us to get rid of it. Yeah. I mean, it's native, but it's very invasive. It's very aggressive, would be, I guess, the proper term, not invasive. But I mean, if they said to get rid of it, I've known some of the prairie people who were there. I mean, they're probably not the same ones as when I was there. It was a long time ago. But that's really cool that you did that. It's always kind of one of my lifelong dreams to restore a personal prairie, which I guess I could do at Jake's house. Because what prairie am I going to restore at my house? Maybe I
Well,
could
how?
devote like a 2 foot by 2 foot patch.
Yeah, exactly. What's the size standard on a prairie?
I mean, I could take an acre or two from Jake. He has 180.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes money. So.
Yeah. Big Steve's got mystery blixa that is fairly dark red, like magenta-ish. Yeah, that's the Nova
Yeah.
Luniensis is the one that's usually
You
advertised
know,
to look like
the
that.
other thing that helps is really low KH water, which I do not have. My KH is much higher than yours is, Big Steve. So,
Yeah,
and that's
and then
just like,
again,
I
it's
don't have.
all of those things like low KH and CO2 injection. I mean, it's all linked to CO2,
Right.
which is all linked to efficiency in photosynthesis,
Yeah.
and that drawing in more light,
Yeah.
deeper coloration.
But the happier you make it, the redder it will be in my experience. So I would never limit it for nitrogen because it
Like,
wants.
is
Yeah,
this
I've
for
seen that
reals?
variety before. I mean, I bought one that was that red and I promptly killed it. I'm very sad about that. I should have put it in this tank. It would have looked awesome. But yeah, I promptly killed it.
Oh, now this is what you get, and this
Yeah.
is what you do if you
No,
lie
yeah.
and you are good at Photoshop. You must put 3 in cart. Oh, for the buy 2 get 1 free. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, this is eBay, so anything goes, I guess.
Sarah says that she also has a rare prairie plant that is really spiky and called snake or dragon or something. Is it like rattlesnake master? But that's not rare. That's a ringem. That's not rare. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. That's cool though. I love Iowa prairies. It's a very cool habitat.
Well, man, chat has slowed down, and I'm out of stuff to say.
A lot of stuff to say too. I mean, I made a content for you all. I mean, I don't do that much, so kind of took it out of me. And I looked at a spreadsheet all day.
That's fun. Yeah.
Some stuff. So, but it's the summer. We should all go do summer things.
Yep. There's a break in the rain. I want to try to get to the nursery soon, like our garden center, but it closes at 5:30. So, and it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah. It's hard for you because, like, I know where I live, things are picked over. Where you live, like, there's no annuals left, I'm sure.
I don't care about annuals. I just want to see what they have, like, versus Lowe's and Home Depot,
Yeah. I mean, I'm planting one more container because I grew all of these petunias from seed. And they weren't ready, but they're about ready now. I can't throw them out because I grew them from seed. They're my babies. So I ordered a huge planter and I'm going to plant it out. Yay, good news.
Yay.
Butterfly received her notification from school. She passed.
Nice.
That is wonderful news. Congratulations to her. And congratulations to you too, Dee Dee, because I know how much you help her.
Mm-hmm.
So good job. That's
Cool.
good news. Now you can all just enjoy your summer. As enjoyable as summer in South Carolina is.
And yeah, I think she is about to start high school, just like Lillian.
Where does the time go?
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember when I first saw her, she was just a little thing, but I just think she's still little. She's not that tall.
Yeah, she's taller than Jenna now. Oh, 8th grade. Okay. Dee Dee held her back for 3rd grade. But yeah, they are the same age, and they were born just a few days apart.
Well, Lillian is taller than Jenna. I mean, that was good. It was good. But I don't think Lillian is ever gonna be, she's not gonna be my height. I think she's done.
Probably, yeah.
That's okay. She got taller than her mom. Mission accomplished, you know.
That's the goal.
It's always the goal. At least be taller than Jenna.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how tall Zachary gets. It's hard to say because he's a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most people are taller than me.
It's true. It's true. I'm trying to think if anyone in the Fishfam is shorter than Jenna. Is Dee Dee, are you shorter than Jenna? I don't think so.
No. But Zen said, poor Scotty.
Yeah. Scotty is also not tall. I'm like 8 inches taller than Scotty. I mean, it's a lot. So,
well,
but anyways, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. And, you know, we're glad you're here. Go enjoy your summer night.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for chatting. And yeah, well, maybe I'll have more to report next week if the rain stops.
Yeah.
I'll get those plants in, and we are working on the plant form that should be coming out probably this week for fall plants.
Yeah, I was gonna say those you'll ship out in the fall because you're not shipping anything now because
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Bye everyone.
Bye.